Hola clase, you received this practice exam for quiz 3 from me. If you see, there are a couple of different pages for it. I did want to go through the answers so that you could understand what you should be studying and what you should be taking away from the practice exam. So this one is the answer sheet. You do have access to this on Blackboard through course content. These are going to be very similar to what you're going to see on the exam. So I put here the correct answers, highlighted them in yellow, and I bolded them. What you should be looking through here is for these, the direct object and indirect object pronouns. That's what it is wanting you to understand. So for this first one, for example, tu papá tiene que recordar tu mamá de una cita importante. Your dad has to remind your mom of an important appointment. And he tells us that the correct answer is D. So what we see here is that what your dad has to do is, your dad here is escribe. He will write a note or a letter, right, to her. To who? To your mom. Okay, so that's how you understand which one goes with which. Because these are both él, ella, usted, then we have the él, ella, usted form for lee and escribe. Whereas when you look at number 2, you wake up late and you have an exam in 5 minutes. So number 2, we go to F. We see that the answer is in the to form. Te vistes para clase sin bañarte. So you get dressed for class without bathing yourself, because this one is talking about something that you do. And that's why we have the difference there. So go through and try to understand those. Here you have to see if the words are synonyms, antonyms, or neither. And it's going to ask you to either put sinónimo, antónimo, or no hay relación, which is like there's no relationship between the two. So in the practice quiz, when you're doing it on your own, you would have to know what these words mean. Tenso, relajado, alegre, feliz, etc., to know whether or not they are synonyms, which mean the same thing, antonyms, which means the opposites, or if there's no relationship between them. In this one, question 3, ¿Cómo reaccionas? You're supposed to fill in the blank, and it tells you that IOP is the indirect object pronoun, which those are me, te, le, nos, and les. Okay, so in the practice quiz, it just gives you a blank where it says IOP, which it's expecting this, and then it gives you the verb in parentheses. Okay, so in this one it says, si alguien está contento, so we're talking about here, él, ella, usted. Alguien is just somebody or anybody is happy. It's because something good is happening. So something good here, this is our subject, algo bueno, something good, and it is in the singular form. So that's why this is in the singular form. And this le refers to the person. So if someone is happy, it's because something good is happening to them. Okay, so that's what it means here in that sentence. And then we go back again through sinónimos y antónimos, right? A synonym for happy is alegre es contento o feliz, igual. An antonym para nervioso es preocupado. I think this should have also been here, synonym, perdón. So preocupado. So nervioso, what's the same thing as nervioso? Preocupado. I think I meant to put synonym there. So in this next one, number 3, si la profesora dice algo cómico, la clase se ríe. So this one is for the reflexive pronouns, right? Because it gives you here in the practice exam, reírse, reírse. So it has that se on the back, so we know that we have to do it in the reflexive pronouns, which is me, te, se, nos, se. And we know our subject here is la clase, so that's why it's in the singular form. Bien? Okay, somebody who does something inappropriate feels, se siente. So se siente here refers to alguien because it's someone who does something that's inappropriate. Avergonzado, which is embarrassed. So just make sure you know this terminology for feelings, right? Embarrassed, happy, worried, tired, jealous, okay? In this one, number 6, los niños pequeños les tienen miedo a los perros grandes. In the practice exam, it gives us that we have to have an indirect object pronoun, and it gives us the verb tener. So what we have to know is which refers to which, okay? So the niños pequeños, is it an indirect object pronoun? Is it answering the question to whom or to what? Or are they the ones doing the action of being scared? So in this case, niños pequeños, they're doing the action. So you have to conjugate the verb based on niños pequeños, which takes the place of ellos, ellas, ustedes. So that's why we conjugate it here in the ellos, ellas, ustedes form. So what are they afraid of, or to what are they afraid of? Los perros grandes. So los perros grandes is also ellos, ellas, ustedes. So that's why we use the ellos, ellas, ustedes form here of the indirect object pronoun. In this case, I asked you guys to provide a description for each of the items listed below. I gave you the translation to English, but I want you to look for so somebody who's impatient, I want you to describe for me what they are like. Somebody who feels horrible, what are they like? What are they like to be around? If someone has a lot of resentment, tell me, what does that mean? So are they walking around happy and smiling? If somebody is nervous, what are they going to be like? If someone takes everything to heart, what are other words? You can also think of like synonyms to help you understand the synonyms in Spanish to help you describe. Okay, here you're supposed to determine which parts of the body the following items cover. What would be a good thing to do as well is, if you don't know what these words are, look them up. The same thing here. If you don't know what these words are, you can look them up. Okay, we're going to go down here to the multiple choice. Just the same thing. If you are having issues understanding why these aren't the correct answers, then you can look up the words you don't understand. Like if you don't know what resfriado means, or fiebre, mala circulación, if you don't know what gárgaras are, or if you don't know what lastimar means, or muletas, yeso, pierna, brazo, make sure that you look those words up to be familiar with them. Okay, in this one, in this category, you'll be dealing with items that you have to decide whether they are true or false. And what I have done here is rewritten some of them so they might either be true or false. So I give you the statement in Spanish and I tell you, okay, this is true. And what I want you to do is rewrite it so the sentence is false. For example, if you said, los pulmones te ayudan a respirar. Los pulmones te ayudan a respirar. Your lungs help you to breathe. And I said, this is true. I want to rewrite it so that it's false. So for example, I might say something like, el hígado te ayuda a respirar. In this case, el hígado is your kidneys, your kidney. Okay, so does your kidney help you breathe? Maybe it does, but I don't think so. So I'm going to say that that's what this one is here, right? Because I'm going to make the sentence false. Now, if it's false, then you make it true. I put here, tomar agua puede dañar el hígado. So drinking water can hurt your kidneys. And I'm going to say, no, that's false. I mean, you can say maybe drinking too much water, but just drinking water in general is usually pretty good for you, right? So how am I going to make it false? So this one was a true sentence that I made false. Now the next one is going to be a false sentence that I'm going to make true. So I'm going to say, tomar alcohol. What's the sentence? Puede dañar el hígado. So this one was a false that I made true, because drinking alcohol can damage your kidneys. Bien, So that's what I want you to do in this one. And then the last part, these are the names of different, I guess, naturally created items, things in the world. So I want you to classify them. What are they? So, for example, El Atlántico, what is that? Um, is it an ocean? Is it a lake? Is it a mountain? Is it a beach? And I gave you different options here. You might need to come up with more than just these, right? But I gave you where to start. Which ones are mountains? Which ones are lakes? Which ones are beaches? Which ones are volcanoes? Okay. So you might have to go through and kind of look them up if you don't know what they are. Like Atacama, what is that? That one's a desierto, but we don't have that in the list of examples. So go through and make sure that you write that down. Bien? Okay, so if you do have any questions, please reach out to me. Let me know what your questions are. We will have our exam in class on Friday, the 22nd. Please make sure that you bring your computer or you rent one from the library. Hasta luego.